Okay, are you ready to get started? Our first exercise, we're going to be using one dumbbell, a squat with a dumbbell to an overhead press. So grab a weight that you can alternate arms and do that squat. So I'm going to be using a 15, but you grab a weight that works for you. All right, are you ready? And go. So press up, bring it down, put the hips back. Press up, put those hips back. Now use that hand for support if you need it. There's nothing wrong with that. Little core support there. Drive up through the legs, hips back. So keep that chest lifted and that core tight. You're about halfway there. You want a little more core challenge? Put that unweighted hand behind you, but really brace that core. It's a big dynamic movement. Almost there. And time. Okay, so I'm going to grab two weights. So we've got a reverse lunge to a bicep curl. So you're going to step back, curl, twist, and switch legs. So pick a weight that works best for you. Go. Step back, curl, twist. So keep that front knee lined up over your heel. Make sure you're driving through that front heel to come up. Looking good. Are you getting warmed up? Heart rate should be up a little bit. Working upper and lower at the same time tends to elevate the heart rate a little bit more. Take your time. I don't want you going fast. Slow, deliberate movement with good form. That's why I made these 60 seconds, so you have time. Step far enough back where that back knee is behind your hip. And time. Okay, so we have a staggered stance. I'll keep these. Staggered stance RDL. That means 1 foot back in a kickstand. Hinge forward. Pull up, upright row. Ready? Shoulders back. Tip forward from the hip. Drive through the heel, upright row. So you want those hands level with the chest. The elbows are shoulder height. Shoulders back. So you want about 80% of your weight in that front heel, not dropping the shoulder. Up. Tip forward from the hip, not from the mid-back. How are you feeling? Really squeeze that front glute on the way up. You got 10 more seconds. You're doing great. Now remember, what weight you choose makes a huge difference here. So make sure your form is good, but it's challenging. Switching sides. Now, instead of the upright row, we're going to do a front raise. So stagger your stance. So I'll turn this way. Retract those shoulders, abs tight. And go. So tip forward, lift front. Tip forward, lift front. Remember, as you're coming back up, push into the heel, squeeze that glute tight. I like to keep the weights back when I come down, you can let them go straight down as long as you don't drop that shoulder. It's a little bit easier to keep the shoulder blades retracted when the weights are back. So keep most of your weight in that front leg. And you want to push that floor away. 10 seconds. Slight bend in the elbow. And time. Okay, walking lunge. So we're going to take a lunge and a lunge, alternating legs, and we'll turn around and come back. So you lunge one leg, then the other, turn around, and you just go for 60 seconds. Ready? My bangs are in my face. Go. So step forward, turn around, step forward. Take a big enough step so that front knee doesn't travel forward. Push off that front heel to come up. So it helps if you alternate that front leg. Just make sure you're working both legs evenly. Almost there. Now here's an exercise because I didn't add upper body to it. You could definitely go heavier. Heart rate's up. It should be. Those muscles should be working hard. Nice job. Okay, so we have a wide squat to a bicep curl. One weight. One weight, knees, toes turned out, shoulders back. So down, curl, down, all the way up. Guided down, go. Guided down. Don't let that weight fall down. Keep the chest lifted all the way up. Down, bicep. All the way. Again, driving through the legs. Push that floor away. Use the power in your legs. You got it. Just make sure you don't arch your back on that overhead swing. Bring it down. Ten more seconds. And time. Nice. Okay. Lateral lunge. I'm going to hold one weight. We're going to do one side first. So I'm going to keep this here. Lateral lunge, knee, reset. Ready? Go. Lateral lunge, knee, tap. Make sure you're sitting back into the hip. Oh, I added an extra knee. Look at me, extra credit. Sit back. Now you can float that knee and then bring it down. Sit back. Chest lifted. Put the weight back into the hip. Back, knee, little pause with that knee. If you can, if you're all over the place trying to balance, just put your toe down. One more. Nice. We got to go the other way. So I should have gone heavier. I was playing it safe. Shouldn't have done that. Keep that weight close to you. Are you ready? And go. Sit back. Knee lift. tap, sit back, knee lift, tap, resetting, back into the hip. So I want my knee and toe to be on that same angle. Woo, they need to match up. And it's okay if you're wobbly. Lunges challenge the balance. So lean away from this leg. Feel that stretch. 30 seconds. Should feel that inner thigh. Should feel that hip, that quad. Almost there. You got 10 seconds. How are you feeling? You got time for one more. Time. Very nice. Okay, so pick a heavier weight. We're going to do rows. This is the lats, biceps, back of the shoulder. You should be stronger here. You're starting in a squat, and you're going to tap back, alternating. All right? Okay, go. Now, of course, choose a weight that's going to work best for you. If the weight is so heavy you can't get your arms back, it's too heavy. You should be able to complete the movement. So squeeze those shoulder blades together. What you want to avoid is rounding of the spine. Keep the chest lifted and lift your tailbone up. So squeeze back. Now you could always just stay here and do your rows if you don't want to add the tap. Totally fine. Whoop. Get those elbows back and in. 10 seconds. If you can, stay in that squat. Definitely stay in the hinge. You're doing great. Put that down. Nice job. Okay, curtsy lunge. You're going to want to go light on this. So it's a good thing I got my handy dandy dumbbell rack over there. So we're going to go to one side. Lateral. Same side. Drive up. So what you want to avoid is shifting. Keep the weight here on this leg. Knee and toe line up, same angle. One more, we're going to switch sides. Okay, switch. See, I'm being nice on this one. Lead with your elbows on that lateral lunge. Drive through that heel. Push through the heel. Not the toe that's on the floor. 10 seconds. Good job, good job. You're almost there. You can do it. And, I wanted to finish it. Okay. We have a halo to a transverse lunge. This is our last movement, standing. Then we'll grab our mat and our band. So you're going to go around, step back. Around, step back. Ready? And go. We're going to round, reach. Bring it around, reach. Keep those elbows close to your head. Big reach. Now, of course, don't hit yourself in the head with the dumbbell. Be careful. You can always do this without weight. And if you do this workout again, just kind of make a mental note or even take notes. What weight you chose, how hard it was, and to get stronger, you just increase the weight. Don't be afraid to lift heavier. And time. Nice job. Okay, so we're going to the floor work. We only have 4 exercises. So grab a mat or a towel, a band. I have this kind of band, but you can also use a little loop. This one will be harder, and some weights. I'll see you there. Okay, so grab your band or your loop and put it just above the knees, or you can slide it up higher on the leg. We're gonna grab weights, choose a weight that you can do an alternating chest press for 60 seconds. I'm gonna give my 15s a try. Let's see how I do. So I'm gonna come up, press. Now what you wanna do with that band is push against that band with your thigh. Keeping that core tight. So see how I'm twisting, reaching, trying to get that core involved as well. Press outward. Now you can always have your feet down and press outward. That's totally fine. Make sure you have a weight that's challenging for you. You can also take the legs out, but make sure you can keep that back flat. Lift. Try to get that shoulder blade off the floor. Now, it should be a challenging weight. If you need to put your head down, do it. Just remember, your neck muscles are like any other muscle. They need to strengthen. And time. Okay, so we're gonna use 1 dumbbell, or you can use 2 lighter. So you can keep this on. We're gonna do a pullover. So you're gonna come up into your bridge, bringing the arms over the chest. You're gonna come back and in. All right, let's go. So you reach those arms as far back as your shoulders will allow. So you may have one side that's a little tighter than the other. That's okay, do your best. Keep the arms the same amount of bend the whole time. Pull back up. You're keeping the arms straight. A slight bend in the elbow. Slight bend. Okay, you got 20 seconds. You're pressing outward on the band. You still got that glute bridge going on, right? Put the hips down if you need to. You're not zipping through this movement. Working the chest and the lats. Stretching through the rotator cuff. Working that serratus muscle. I know you're like, oh good, I really wanted to work that. Now put that weight on your hips. Fix your shirt. So make sure it's on the top of your thigh and not across the hips themselves. More on the top of the thigh. Now you're gonna come up, press out, and then down. So take your feet wider. Up, out, down. Keep the rib cage on the floor. So you're just tilting your pelvis, squeezing the glutes. Now the weight is there to add more resistance, obviously. So if it's too much, if it's compromising your range of motion, lose the dumbbell. If you don't have a band, it's okay. Remember, squeeze up and really press outward. Resist that band just pulling you right back in. You should definitely feel that in the glute. Now, if you're feeling a lot of low back, you need to pull your abs in a little tighter. When the abs are not working, the back has to work harder than it should. So make sure you keep the abs engaged. Out, out. Nice. Okay. We've got one more exercise, and that's for triceps. This is our last thing. So grab that. I'm just going to keep the band on. So we're going to start. We've got skull crushers or a lying tricep extension. Don't you love gym talk? Okay. Halfway, all the way. Halfway, all the way. Now the band is on for a reason. It's not just there. All the way. So stop about level with the elbow and then fully extend. All right. Bring the legs up. Press outward. Keep the back flat against the floor by pulling your abs in tight. Up. Just by lifting your legs, you should feel your core more. If you've got really tight hamstrings, you can bend those legs. It's totally fine. Half full time. Excellent job. All right. Quick stretch. Meet me back here. Okay, so we're going to use the band to stretch. You can also use a hand towel or nothing at all. So slide that band off. And then put the band around the bottom of the feet. And then use that to get those legs nice and straight. And pull yourself forward. Hamstring stretch. Letting those toes come back so you get that stretch all the way down the back of the leg. Just make sure you're not rounding the spine. If that doesn't bother you, it's fine, but it's better to hinge from the hip. And of course, keep your core tight. So since we're not bent over so much against gravity, it is okay to round your spine, but if it doesn't feel good, hinge forward instead. Nice. Okay, bring that in. And then one foot in front of the other. So just make sure one is stacked in front of the other and they're not on top. And then come forward, again, hinging, taking the knees out to the side, opening up the hips. You did a great job. So I highly recommend choosing a weight that really challenges you with good form. Remember, you want to send that stimulus to your body to change. It needs that stimulus to change. So our bodies adapt pretty quickly to things. So don't be afraid to increase that weight. You can always go slower. You can always do fewer reps, but definitely increase that weight over time. Don't do the same weight over and over again. Bring it up. Take those hands behind you. I like to use the band. You don't have to here. Put my hand through and then really squeeze those shoulder blades back and together. By challenging your body and adding lean tissue to your body, you improve your metabolic rate. You put stress on your bones, which makes them rebuild stronger. There's a lot more benefits, but I would definitely recommend including some kind of strength training at least 2 or 3 times a week if possible. Minimum 2, I would do 2. Let that go. And then bring the knees up, last stretch. Put the hands underneath and then round that spine, tuck your chin. Just feeling that stretch down your back. If you liked this workout, give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. Feel free to leave a comment on what kind of workouts you'd like to see in the future. I'm always open to new workouts. And if you like this, check out my other strength workouts up here. I'll see you next time. Have a great day. You did fantastic.